Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? Hope you're doing fantastic. Listen, guys, listen. Litecoin is starting to move. Now, I know, I guess everything is starting to move, but we've talked about Litecoin before, how its technical analysis is really, really good and really, really healthy, right? Overall, general picture, it bottomed out around $60, right? We can see it had multiple taps, over the last year or so around this area. And when we actually take away the wicks, we can see it's been moving so well, fundamentally up, a little bit sell off, but never below the current low, or yeah, the last low. Again, it went past the high, a little bit of sell off, right? But it was still above this low. Again, past this current high, creates a higher high, sells off, but never below this low. And we can see it's been moving so fundamentally well, which makes me believe that it's really going to explode this bull run, right? When we see something like this, it's a very good indication that price does not have to come back to that price. And why do I say this? It's because the market moves in staircases, right? So when the market's kind of moving like this in a healthy way, then there's no real reason for it to come back unless, it's bear season or whatever. But when market kind of moves fast up like this or down like this, right, then it can move in quickly to fill up this thing called imbalance, where there's pretty much not much support or resistance, hence why a fast pump or a fast dump, right? But when things kind of turn into a staircase, although it's slower, it's much more fundamental and better for coins, because when it's time to break out of a range, right, as we can see Litecoin slowly headed to, then it's really gonna start exploding, right? Because this is called a consolidation zone, and when it's fundamentally going up and down, hitting support and resistance, then once the breakout happens, it moves fairly quick. Now, in terms of price, right, where do I think Litecoin is going to go? Well, guys, there are multiple price targets. I'm going to give you a price target if Litecoin kind of fails, which I don't think it will fail. In fact, I'll think it'll do much better than this, right? So the first price target is $225 because we have this institutional candle. Now, if it were to hit it and still go above it, I would not be surprised we hit it, have a sell-off before we have a second attempt to continue going higher. My next target for Litecoin is all-time highs, because if we actually go and look at the market cap, it was roughly around $25 billion. Now, although I don't think Litecoin is the most relevant coin or going to be the most relevant coin this cycle, I do know that a lot of people like to invest into what they know. So, that comes from people, institutions, companies, right? So a thing like Litecoin will definitely be seeing volume. So it would not be surprising if Litecoin at the minimum breaks, these all-time highs and sweeps it and then goes down, right? That's the second scenario. The third scenario would be roughly hitting that 40 billion market cap, which I think Litecoin can do. Now, off the top of my head, that would be roughly around $600, which I think that is a great return for a big coin like Litecoin. Now, if there's gonna be ETFs in play, if things change, then Litecoin could go higher. But I don't want to oversell you guys, right? I don't want to overhype a dream and then you're waiting for a price point and you never hit it. So I give you three very realistic targets, right? Especially the first two, 220 to 250 to pretty much around the $400 area. But my price prediction is $600 for Litecoin.